So on number one, back that up. You got to use distributive property. So that just means 6 gets multiplied to both of these. So you guys, what's 6 times 8r? 48r. I don't care if you use a calculator. Minus 6 times 5, so minus 30. Can I do anything else with that?
No.
No. So that's it. That's number 1. Number 3. 2x times 4x plus 1. What's 2x times 4x? You guys remember?
8x times 8x squared.
8x squared. Yeah, anytime you do x times x, that makes an x squared. Plus, what's 2x times 1? 2x. Does that simplify anymore? No. You can only add like terms. None of these first 10 will simplify. Well, actually I lied. Number 7. Number 5, 6 times 3r plus 3. Okay, 6 times 3r.
18r.
Plus 6 times 3.
18.
Hopefully you remember this. This is all, if you don't remember your times tables, I mean, unfortunate, but it won't be the end of the world. 2v plus 6. Number,
You have to do the FOIL.
yeah, this is a FOIL problem. You guys see what's different on these problems? There's 2 terms in each. You guys remember what a 2-term polynomial is called?
It is about to say.
No, it's been too long. It's called a binomial.
Answer 7.
Do we even need our books?
One more.
Mr. Jordan, you should not count this as a party. It was a miscommunication on the school's part. I'm for real. There was no. Yeah, I tried calling everybody. She didn't. I had no idea what was going on. And then Megan left. Megan disappeared.
Where is she?
Second day of school, you got stressed out.
Hey, guys, she was
Oh,
gone.
number 1. It's not the time. Oh, frick. Wait, why?
It's not me.
You made it funny?
Yeah.
I'm not.
Nothing, no.
No.
All right. So, yeah, this is a FOIL problem. It's got 2 terms times 2 terms. So what do we multiply? What does FOIL stand for? First, which is kind of like the front, yeah. So it's the first in both. So what's 2v times 4v? 8v squared. Outside means outside. So like the far away ones. What's 2v times 4? 8v. And it's positive 8v, so I'm going to put plus 8v. I stands for inside, so those are the middle 2. What's 6 times 4v? 24v. And then L stands for the last 2, so that would be the 6 and the 4, which is 24. So it's positive, so I'm going to put plus. Is there anything else I can do?
You can simplify method.
Yeah. On FOIL problems, usually the middle 2 terms will be like terms, and we can add those together. So what's 8v plus 24v? Oh, possibly. Yeah, there's a worksheet by Jaden, that'll work. Jaden does have cooties, so it's kind of a risk, but.
Just kind of stinky. It's better than grass.
All right. So AV plus 24V is 32V. That's the final We're on that was number 7. I'm doing the odds with you guys, and you guys will do the evens. Number 9 looks like another foil. Should I start picking on people? Trevor wants me to pick on him.
Well, no, actually, I want to do this one. I got it.
You got it?
Yeah. So,
Oh.
foil.
So what do you think is the first, Trevor?
You do 2v times v.
Yep.
Does that make it 3v or is it still 2v?
If you're adding, that makes 3 V's.
So you're adding or
No, we're
so
multiplying.
you're multiplying.
So when you multiply V times V, what does that give you?
V squared.
V squared.
V squared.
So 2 times V times V. The V times V makes V squared.
Okay. And then you're going to do the outside?
Yeah.
No outside.
There is an outside, so it's the outside is the far out. So it's 2V times, you should probably think of that as a -1. So what's 2V times -1?
Negative 2v.
V, yeah, so just minus 2V, and the inside are the middle two terms, -5 times V.
So negative 5v.
And then the last two would be the right two, so -5 times -1. Negative times negative is,
Positive, so it's going to be plus 5.
yeah. Is there anything else we can do? Middle two terms. Chapter 1's kind of like polynomial chapter, so I just thought this would be a good warm up. You guys are kind of, I've got another Algebra 2 in the afternoon, so you guys are getting more practice in there. This is a grade. I will be graded on Monday. -2V minus 5V,
Negative 7.
-7V. So you got 2V squared. I don't care if you guys use a calculator. Like if you get confused with negatives and minuses and all
I have
that
a
stuff.
question, Mr. Bishop.
Yeah.
Why did you do the middle term?
If they are like terms, like the same kind, that you can put them together. So it's like if you're losing 2V's and you're losing 5V's, then really
Oh, so
you're
you
losing.
didn't do it with the first one because that was square.
V squared is different than V, yeah. So you can only put like terms together, same kinds together.
So if there was another positive, like so there was a positive 4, you would add that with the positive 5.
Yeah, on these FOIL problems that won't happen, but it could happen on a different problem. Okay, what kind of problem is number 11? Is that like a, what are we doing on 11?
You simplify the expression.
Yeah, by doing what?
Adding like terms.
Yes, this is 11 is more like an addition problem, because notice there's a plus between the parentheses, but we can only add like terms. So I'm going to do the biggest powers first. So in the first parentheses, I see a -2p to the 4th. Is there anything that I can add with that?
6.
So what's -2 plus 6? 4. Now is it 4p to the what? 4. When you're adding terms, like terms, the exponents do not change. That's different than what we did on 1 through 10. When we did x times x, it became x squared. Okay, that's the p to the 4th. And then in the first parentheses, I also see 8p squared. Is there anything that can go with that?
P squared.
Minus p squared. So we're like adding a minus p squared. So really we're just subtracting p squared. So what's 8p squared minus p squared?
7p squared.
Yeah, remember if there's no number in front, that means there's an invisible 1 right there. So that is 7p squared. It is positive 7, so I'm just going to put 7 plus 7p squared.
What number is this?
11. Okay, what else did I not do in the first parentheses? 3p. What goes with 3p? Nothing. Yeah, trick question. So what should I do with the 3p? Yeah, don't really do anything. Just put, it's positive, so just put plus 3p.
Same thing as a 7.
Yeah, in the right parentheses, I didn't do anything with the 7. There's nothing you can do, so I'm just going to leave it alone. Plus 7.
And we could have had that in any order since it's just adding.
Well, this is standard order. Technically, any order would be correct, but the book's always going to write it in this order. greatest power to the least.
No, I had it backwards.
But yeah, if you wrote it backwards, it's still right technically. Okay, on number 12, what's different? What's different about 12 from 11?
There's
minus.
There's a minus in the middle, which makes it tricky. So you're not just subtracting 5x squared, you're also subtracting negative 8x cubed and minus 7x. So what happens when you minus a minus? Add. So actually you have to, on 12, you have to add 8x cubed and you have to add 7x. So be careful. If you want me to check that one, that's fine, but I'm not going to do it. 13's another add, 15's a minus. So we'll have to do that on 15. We'll do that for practice. So on 13, same thing we just did, right? Guess what I'm going to do first? The biggest power. So 8b to the fourth plus what? 2b to the fourth is 10b to the fourth. 8 plus 2.
Are we on 10 or
13. Okay, and then in the other, in the first parentheses, I also see a negative 5b cubed. Is there anything that can go with that?
No.
No, there are no other b to the third terms. So I'm not going to do anything with it except for copy it down.
And it doesn't matter the way, like the order you put it in, right?
Technically, any order is correct, but the standard order is big powers first.
Okay.
Like, I don't have the answer sheet in front of me, but if I did, it would be in this order. Actually, maybe I do have this answer somewhere. I don't know. I didn't give anybody an answer sheet, did I? Oh, here it is. I got it. All right. Lost my place. We just did 5b to the third. So, is there a b to the second? No. Is there a b term? Yeah, just one of them, right? I see a plus 4b. So I can't really do anything with that. And what else is left? Positive 5 in the first parentheses and a plus 6 in the next parentheses. So 5 plus 6? 11. Those two go together. All right, 15 is like, what was it, number 12 that we talked about? It's a subtraction problem. It's got to be a little more careful. So I see a 3x to the fourth in the left parentheses. And then in the middle is a minus. And then the right parentheses is a minus 3x to the fourth. So how do I do minus 3x to the fourth?
You
Add. So I need 3x to the fourth plus 3x to the fourth is 6x to the fourth. Are there any questions on that? Okay. And then I'm going to move to the 2x cubed in the left parentheses. And in the right parentheses, I see a minus 6x cubed. What is 2 minus 6? Negative 4. So I'm going to put negative 4 or minus 4 x cubed. And then in the left parentheses, I see negative 6x squared. And in the right parentheses, I have minus 4x squared. So I have negative 6x squared minus 4x squared. So what am I going to do?
Minus 2x squared.
I'm going to do negative 6 plus 4, which is negative 2. If you get confused on your negatives, you can plug that in the calculator. It'll spit out negative 2. But don't forget to write negative 2 x squared minus 2. I keep flipping back and forth between negative and minus because they're kind of the same thing. That's why they look alike. All right. 17. So 17 doesn't have any parentheses, so you still just add the like terms together though, right? To figure out whether the term is positive or negative, you just look in front of the terms. So what's the biggest power on number 17? Looks like
Negative x cubed.
the x cubed, and it is negative because there's a minus in front. So, but it's by itself, right? So I'm just going to copy it down. Negative x cubed. What's the next biggest power? 7x squared and minus 3x squared make 4x squared. That's positive, so I'm going to put plus 4x squared. And then what's the next biggest? Just the x. The 2x is by itself. So I'm just going to put plus 2x. And then we've got the two constants, plus 7 and minus 6. What's that going to make? Yeah. All right, 19 looks like the same thing. What's the biggest power? 7x to the fourth minus 4x to the fourth is 3x to the fourth. What's the next biggest power?
Negative 5x.
Negative 5x squared is by itself, so we'll just keep it the same. Then what's the next biggest?
Positive x.
Plus x. Then we have a minus 2 and a minus 7.
-9.
That makes minus 9. It's like going down 2, down 7, you're down 9.
So there's 3 rows of numbers there. Is the middle one a part of 15 or 17?
This is 17, this is 19.
Sorry.
Okay, 21. What the heck is that? What's going on? What do we do?
Square.
It's just square everything inside the front.
Problem from earlier, but you just
It is actually a FOIL problem. So you can't just do 2n squared and minus 1 squared. You have to do 2n minus 1 times 2n minus 1. So everything times everything. So it is actually a FOIL problem. It's all of itself times all of itself.
What number is this?
It's 21. So I rewrote 21 to kind of show what we have to do basically. Square means the whole thing times itself. So it is a FOIL problem just like number 7, those problems. So first, 2n times 2n makes 4n squared. Okay, outside, 2n times minus 1. Minus, right, negative 2n. One negative makes it negative. Multiplying by 1 does nothing. Inside, negative 1 times 2n. Same thing, right?
Which makes a negative 4.
I'll come back to that. And then last, negative 1 times negative 1, positive 1. Negative times negative is positive. So altogether, what do I got? 4n squared minus 2 minus 2. Minus 4n. It's like going backwards 2 steps, backwards 2 steps. You're backwards 4 steps. Plus 1. Looks like 23 and 25 are the same thing. What about 24? Well, it's just a normal FOIL problem. It's a little bit different than the rest of them because one has a plus, one has a minus. So something weird is going to kind of happen on 24. But it's just normal FOIL. Okay, 23 is, wait, what? 5k minus 3. 5k minus 3. Dylan, what do you think the first will be on this one?
45k.
Close.
Oh, 25k to the second power.
Yep. Montana, how about the outside? That's a 5k times a negative 3. So what would that make? Well, one negative makes it negative, and then you just do the 5 times 3, and then you don't do anything with the k. This just means 15 times k. We can't really do anything with the times k. Okay, inside looks like pretty much the same thing. Negative 3 times 5k. So same thing. And then the last two are negative 3 and negative 3. So what's negative 3 times negative 3?
Positive 9.
Positive 9. So plus 9.
Then you have the negative 15k.
Right. The two middle terms are like terms. Negative 15k. What's minus 15 minus 15?
Negative 30.
Negative 30. So 25k squared minus 30k plus 9. One more. Goodness. I guess we got off to a late start, didn't we? Some people decided to go to the cafeteria.
We did.
Okay.
They literally told us to go down there.
I know, I was just teasing.
We still have a little over 15 minutes. Yeah.
Well, yeah, you still got a lot. You guys gotta do your evens. Some of you probably been cheating and working ahead, but 4b minus 4 times 4b minus 4. What's 4b times 4b? I'm kidding, I don't really care. 16b squared. Okay, outside, what is 4b times minus 4?
Negative 16b.
Negative 16b. Inside is the exact same thing, 4b times negative 4, so negative 16b. And then last is negative 4 times negative 4.
Positive 16. So then combine like terms to make
What's negative 16 minus 16?
negative 13b. 32b. So.
Of course, your calculator can't do the letters part of this, but it can do the negative 16 minus 16 part. So if you need help with that, yeah. What?
Question on 2 problems.
All right, which one?
Okay, first one, 16.
Lots of m's.
With positive 3m squared and negative 3m squared, would that just cancel out?
Yep, 0m squared is 0, so you just ignore it. Yeah, it disappears.
Okay. I think it's a similar thing on 24.
Yeah, something on 24 also will cancel out after you FOIL it.
Okay.